Well, hello, everyone. Welcome to When Women Believe. I am here with another guest, as you can see. I am here with none other than Peg the Vegan, which is my really good friend. If you haven't found her, you definitely need to stop what you're doing right now and go to Instagram. You can go to YouTube, you can go to Facebook, and you definitely want to find Peg the Vegan. So I'm going to give everyone a few seconds to really take a minute to share this particular podcast. It is definitely, once again, one of those podcasts you don't want to miss. We're going to be talking about how to eat to live. And so I want to make sure that we take out the time to first say that we're live, making sure that we are live. So if you see us, please make sure that you drop by and say hello. I can see that we are live on When Women Believe. So if you're there, I see somebody's there and gave us a wonderful heart. You can feel free to chat in the comments. We definitely want to hear from you and see you and be a part of the conversation. But today we're going to talk about veganism. Now, so I do know Peggy personally. And so I've watched her go through this journey, and it's real. I don't know how she does it. So, for me being a meatitarian for all the years of my life. But I will say Peggy is about this. And I really was always inspired by Peggy's journey from not always being a vegan, but transitioning to this for various reasons. And so I wanted to bring her on because as we live and as we get older, we got to start really watching how we eat. I know Thanksgiving is coming up, and some of y'all might be angry with me having this podcast and Thanksgiving, but hey, we want you here is what I'm trying to say. And so I wanted to
Absolutely.
bring Peggy on. And so I'm going to take a little bit. The things that I know about Peggy is I know she's a mother. I know she's a wife. She's an entrepreneur. She does hair. She's vegan. She's a homeschool. She homeschools these babies. Another thing, it ain't my ministry, baby. It ain't my ministry. But it's one of those things, if you learn Peggy, it's always like, she knows all these different things and does like so many different things. Like if you talk to Peggy, you'd be like, wait a minute. Like Peggy just sang background for Fred Hammond. Like I was like, Peggy, wait a minute, you sing? Like I've known Peggy for years. And I was like, Peggy, you be singing? Now I know I have sang around the dinner table with Peggy, but I'm like, hold on a second, Peggy be really singing? So you just don't know all the things about Peggy, but I can tell you she's an amazing woman of God, very truthful, very loyal woman. You could tell her anything and she will just give you her honest opinion. So don't ask Peggy if you don't want to know the real opinion, because she'll go, well, when you say things, well, friend, so, but all around good person. But I know I've talked a little bit about Peggy, but who can tell you more about Peggy than herself? So Peggy, can you give us a little bit and tell us a little bit about who you are?
Absolutely. Well, I thank you for that amazing, warm introduction. I don't know what to add that you didn't already add. I'm just honored to live this life God has given me. So I just try to steward it the best that I can. So, like you said, I'm a wife, I'm a mom, I love the Lord. Um, I love living for the kingdom. So it doesn't matter what space I'm in, like I'm trying to do it to build the kingdom. So I'm a mom. I homeschool. I love being vegan. I love showing you guys just different ways, different things to think about. I teach young people at the juvenile court system. So, God is good.
Yes, that's I'm like Peggy be everywhere. I think you should do like your DNA. I said I was gonna do my ancestry. I
Me
promise
too.
you, she's Jamaican. I promise you. You ain't really got to
For
spend all
that
the money.
reason, I'm definitely doing it sooner than later. I
I'm
must
like, I
know.
promise you she's Jamaican. So because it just doesn't make sense. Every year, if you are one of Peggy's friends or as you get to know her when she's doing her podcast on YouTube, because she generally tells about her life outside of cooking, you be like, she doing what? When? She doing what again? So yes, she's a jack of all trades. I love it. And I want to just talk about, when it comes to the background of you and you becoming Peg the Vegan, what do you like to do for fun when you're outside of doing nutrition? Because I know I've seen a couple things. What do you do outside of, except for
Yeah.
nutrition?
Outside of that, I love laughing. I love comedy. I'm a comedy girl.
Mhm.
all the way. So I love comedy. I love comedy shows, comedic movies. I love skating. I love singing, and I love game night. Like game night is my
Yeah.
jam.
Yeah.
So charades, to be specific. Like
Oh,
I'm just saying around here, we some beasts at charades. I'm just saying.
yes. Yeah. I love it. I need to figure that out. So when we do have our next game night, whenever that gets scheduled with all the people, it's one of those different things. I'm gonna need you on my team because I know you're very competitive. So you can definitely be on my team for charades or any other game.
Absolutely.
So when it comes to starting, like I said, I've been knowing you for a very long time. And so I remember you talking about the transition of going from eating, whatever you want to saying, okay, I need to move to be more vegan, or I need to change the way I eat, or really just kind of going to eating to live. What inspired you to go to being a vegan in the first place?
So I would love to say that there was just this beautiful unfolding of wanting, a better life. No, it was birthed out of trauma. It
Hmm.
was birthed out of fear.
Yeah.
Um, it wasn't, I didn't jump right into being vegan. I've been on a health journey for the better part of the last 12 years or so.
Hmm.
So just every few years I would like cut something out. So I started out like many years ago cutting out pork, and then I cut out chicken and turkey and all the things, and I was just pescatarian for
Hmm.
maybe 8 years, 7 or 8 years.
Hmm.
And then like every time somebody close to me would pass or they had something wrong with their health, it would make me internalize my health and be like, oh my God. And so like what I started doing was watching documentaries on our health. And once you learn it, you cannot unlearn it.
Yeah.
And so I was just like, I'm gonna tell y'all a funny story. Okay. The absolute last straw that sent me into like cutting out turkey and chicken and stuff, I tried to cook a turkey. Okay.
Okay.
This may have been in 2018, 17 or 18. I tried to cook a turkey, right? And I took it out the packaging and like went to clean it. And it was like a whole big body just in my sink. I said, this is a whole being. It's okay. So those that don't know me, I don't really like certain things. That
Nothing.
was one of the things I was like, I don't want to do this. This
Yeah.
I don't want it anymore.
Yes.
So um but other things in my life, like my mom's health, my aunt's health, every woman in my family on my mom's side that has passed has died from heart related issues, whether it's heart disease or blood pressure. Many of us on my mom's side, it's a lot of women on her side, we all have blood pressure issues. And
Hmm.
like upon my mom passing 2 years ago from those same related issues, I was like, I have to stop it. I have to break that cycle. If I don't do something different, then I'm going to have it. My kids are going to have it. And where does it stop if it doesn't? If I don't decide, it stops right here with me.
Hmm. Yeah, yeah. That's always rough because I think a lot of times with our families is that we're so used to passing down certain traditions, passing down, certain recipes. Like this is how Big Mama made it. Baby, if you don't have Laurie's, huh, what are we talking about? And it's like it's just certain things that we just do, as a way of celebrations and comfort and just hanging out. But it's like
Mhm.
changing. But we're seeing the effects. Like a lot of times, we'll see the effects that's happening into our families, but we don't take the changes that you're saying to say, I have to actively change the way I live or change the way I eat because I'm literally seeing it time and time again in my family of where this is basically causing us to have health issues. And if I
Mhm.
don't stop, then I have several other children that still has that same bloodline that eventually have it as well. It's like, who's going to take the step? And so I'm really proud of you, Peggy, for taking the step because
Thank
a
you.
lot of times we can see it and we still decide not to make the change and then wonder, well, oh, well, that just runs and we'll just have the excuse, oh, that just runs in my family. It doesn't
Yeah,
have to.
it doesn't have to.
It doesn't have to. And so is that was one of the moments because I'm thinking that's probably one of the big moments that started, eating to live and really started to make the difference in your life. I can
Yes.
probably assume that it was. Okay.
Mhm.
And
Absolutely.
so So, in your opinion, because I always hear about, you say Presbyterian, so for folks, that's just not having red meat but eating fish. I'm trying to figure out, what does it mean to be a true vegan, quote unquote true vegan? What does a true vegan mean for you?
A true vegan to me means absolutely under no circumstance you compromise what you're doing, how you're living
Hmm.
for your own desires, for anything. You just don't compromise it. You do not risk it. You do not take the chance on it. Like, you know that um it's a life or death situation. It's not just
Hmm.
about, oh, this tastes good or this doesn't taste good. It is about see having a healthier food relationship. We are not taught how to have healthy relationships with food. And it's
Hmm.
about being dedicated and sold out to that and not being
Hmm.
shaken from it.
Yeah. So tell me a little bit more, what about vegan? So is vegan, because I always get being a vegetarian and a vegan different. So with a vegan, is it anything like eggs and cheese? All of that is a no. Is that correct?
That is correct, but it is it can be very, very difficult. And I think that's why a lot of people kind of just shy away from it because there's
Hmm.
so much that goes into it, so much that you don't know. Yes, when you go vegan, you cut out anything that has animal products in it, no milk, no cheese, no eggs, no anything like that. But there are items that you don't know that have those things in it.
Okay.
And like a lot of people don't know that like gummies, like regular gummies have like pork in them and
Oh,
things
because
like
of gelatin.
in the gelatin, and gelatin
Hmm.
is in a lot of things.
Hmm.
So I mean, like when it comes down to reading labels, you have to be like spot on, almost militant about it because like
Hmm.
you so it's a running thing. It used to be a running thing in our house. So we've been vegan for 2 years now.
Okay.
And starting out, we were learning how to read labels and things, and we would see something that we ate that maybe had gelatin or maybe had eggs in it. We didn't know. You're like, well, oh well, day one of vegan starts over today because we just didn't know. We
Yeah.
just didn't know.
Yeah.
So yeah,
Yeah. And I would think that it would be hard because you don't know. Because I think in my mind, when I think of veganism, or if I think of being a vegetarian, it's something of that nature. When you get some jello, I'm not thinking that. Or if I'm eating some gummy bears, that's the last thing I'm thinking. I'm just thinking it's not an animal. So
yeah.
I wouldn't think that. So it does make sure that if you are finna go on this journey, that you have to do your research and not just jump into it, because it's like there's so many other things that you need to know to truly do it correctly, if for your health
It
benefits.
even goes so far as like you think like if you're out, you're on the go, and you want to grab something simple. So you think, oh, French fries, I can have French fries. It's just a potato.
Hmm.
But it comes down to what they fry that potato in, right? A lot of places use beef tallow, and you just don't know unless you ask. You literally have to go in the door and ask these difficult questions. And I've seen it many times where the waitress or the server is like, I don't know. Let me go ask.
Yeah.
And they'll come back like, as a matter of fact, yeah, we do use animal products to fry it or cook in.
And then, girl, you can't have no fries.
At that place, you can't have no fries. Nope.
Ooh, child. you know, I'm like, me, baby. I'm struggle. I'd be like, well, what did you tell the kids? Veganism
Day
starts
one
tomorrow.
starts
Day
over
one starts
today.
tomorrow. Cause baby, I'm gonna eat these fries. So, but it is something you definitely have to ask. And so I'm just trying to think about more of it. And how do you figure out, when you're going into this? Because I'm thinking plant-based everything. Like, how are you able to figure out how to swap in those plant-based ingredients, but still make sure the food tastes good? Because you know how we are, Peggy. It's got to taste good if I'm gonna do it.
So it was a lot of trial and error.
Mm-hmm.
But we went into it. When I say we, me and my children, I have some older daughters who've been in the kitchen with me. And we went into it knowing, like, even including the younger kids, like, okay, we're learning here. So some things might be good and some might. And so we start labeling it. Okay, let's have a list here. These are wins and these are fails. The fails, what can we do to revamp it? So we would try it again. We would swap something out. We would try something else. But it took a lot of trying, a lot of not being afraid to fail in it. And not being afraid to be like, okay, this is disgusting.
Right. Right. Because I was like, mm-mm.
Mm-mm. And kids are going to be honest. They're going to be
Yeah.
all the way truthful. And like anybody be going vegan is going to be because like it's just, first of all, it's completely different than what you're used to.
Yeah.
And secondly, like just until you figure it out, some of them just, it just be nasty. So you got to be honest about that. You can't like, yeah.
Yeah.
So we started keeping, we have a binder. And when we had something that was a win, we instantly went to print it.
Okay.
We printed and we put it in this book. So we started, I started with the first meal was tacos. And what I
Yeah.
did is I didn't add anything meat like to it. I just took the meat out and I loaded so many other things into it, like you didn't even realize it didn't have meat in it. I
Okay.
mean, like rice and corn and pico and beans and all the things just
Mm-hmm.
piled into this taco where it was so good. You're like, oh, this don't have meat in it.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah, just one meal at a time. Like you perfect one meal at a time to not be overwhelmed with the process.
Yeah.
And it just makes it a little bit easier to get through it.
Yeah. So what is your go-to meal though, Peggy? Like in the household? What is like one of those staple meals that's like, okay, we don't even got to think about it. We all love this.
Man, we have so many now. I just recently posted our white sauce cashew pasta, so that's definitely a go-to.
Mm-hmm.
And so now the 10-year-old has learned how to make it, which is a
Okay.
blessing. Um, Fried mushrooms is all like I don't care how many oyster mushrooms I buy, it's never enough. It's just not enough.
Yeah. Yeah.
But that's our fried chicken. So oh, what are I mean, we have so many. Like I
Mm-hmm.
said, because we're so far into it now that
Yeah.
we have like enough meals where we can rotate out weekly. Like, okay, we know we got a whole 2 weeks worth of meals that work. So,
Mm-hmm. Which is good because a lot of times some people are very picky eaters.
mhm.
Uh, hence the person I'm talking to. But it's like, we have a lot of people that are very picky eaters. So it's kind of like, let's just find something that does work. We're committed to this lifestyle, just one thing at a time. So anyone who is trying, again, Eat to Live, Peggy is there to kind of walk you through. I can tell you Peggy's food is good. So it's like it's one of those different things of just saying, okay, today we're gonna try this, today we're gonna try that, and really just taking and say and just kind of building up your recipe of things that you want. And honestly, to be honest, when you're first learning how to cook, it's the same thing. You're just like, this is my go-to meal. I can tell you right now, ain't nobody getting no greens out of me. I'm sorry. I know I lived with my grandma my whole life. I have the things that I can do, but greens just isn't it. And so it's kind of
Mhm.
like with veganism, it's the same way. It's like, okay, we're taking out the meat, but we still have the tacos. We still have the pasta with the mushrooms. You're telling me that it's like the fried chicken. It's like we still can accomplish those favorites. It's
Mhm.
just can be accomplished with veggies and seasonings and different things of that nature. So it can be done. It's just that it's just gonna have to take some trial and error to get you there. But
That's the biggest misconception I think with this journey. Are people hearing vegan? They think like,
mhm.
are you just eating bowls of spinach all day? It's like
Yes.
absolutely not. It's so many different ways. Like it's just things you don't even know about. Many people don't know what lentils are or what fava beans are or
Hmm.
what like they have the soy free tofu now. They have all these different things, jackfruit that you can use to
Yes.
accomplish these dishes. And it makes it so much easier. But people don't understand it. They just think like, oh, okay, so you eating apples and lettuce every day.
Yeah. That's it. That's all you got.
No.
So I mean, when it does come to plant-based living and when it comes to eating healthy, we all know it seems in our mind that it can be very expensive. And so a lot of people sometimes will it's almost harder to eat healthier because you can go to McDonald's and get it something at the dollar menu, but that salad is going to cost a lot more. Since it seems like it's costs more to eat healthier, how have you been able to do it in a budget friendly way to still eat to live, be plant based, but keep it within your budget?
So what I have done is I put what we eat first,
Mm-hmm.
right? So like I know that I have to shop. I don't have to. I prefer to shop at Dearburg's, right? Dearburg's.
Mm-hmm.
is a little bit more pricey, right? But
Yeah.
that's where that compromise comes in. Like I have to make the decision, like I'm so serious about this, I'm willing to pay a little bit extra. Because
Hmm.
whether we want to admit it or not, you're gonna pay it now or you're gonna pay it later because health bills are expensive.
True.
Okay. Being sick and being on medications is expensive. So I just choose, I make the living choice that I'm gonna just pay my cost up front and pay more for my food.
Hmm.
I also budget. This is something I plan to do a video on. So y'all be on the lookout for that on how my
Awesome.
house operates. On a
Hmm.
weekly basis, we map out our meals. We
Hmm.
typically don't eat breakfast. That's a whole nother topic. But what we're gonna have for lunch, snack, and dinner is mapped out. So I go buy those things. It controls my spending
Hmm.
because I know it can cost a bit,
Yeah.
but so just that helps me, and just it's worth it. It's worth it. It's about good decisions, and so I choose to just spend a little bit extra. And those times where I'm at the grocery store and that bill is looking like $400 for a bunch
Ooh,
of
yeah.
prescriptions, I just say as I'm scanning, Lord, I thank you for providing. I
Hmm.
thank you that you'll make a way where we won't have to worry about how we're gonna, eat to live and it be affordable.
Hmm.
And that's
Yeah.
it.
Makes sense. And if we don't, if it's someone that's typically like me, I'm moving and shaking, so I may not be able to get the deal breaks and make a meal every other day. If I just want to go to a restaurant, what suggestions or restaurants have you been to that you found success at?
Okay. Um, Chipotle. Chipotle. Y'all
Yeah.
go ahead and sponsor me, Chipotle.
Listen, let's talk about it now.
Let's
Tag them
talk
in the
about that.
comments. Tag them in the
Tag
comments.
Chipotle in the
Tag
bottom.
Chipotle.
But Chipotle was definitely a go-to. It
Hmm.
still is a go-to, even though we don't eat out a lot.
Yeah.
Um, Absolutely Chipotle. There, if we want pizza, we'll go to a place called Sauce on the Side, and we get their calzones because you can get it like the dough has no eggs or milk or anything in it, and that goes across the board. But you
Hmm.
can get in it whatever you want, and the pizza sauce is on the side. It's really really good. So we go
Yeah.
there. We also go to a place called Tacos for Life, and they
Yeah.
have an awesome eggplant taco. They have not jackfruit. I'm sorry. They have an eggplant taco and a tofu taco, which kind of has like a. Okay, so a lot of places don't know how to do tofu. They just don't. Y'all don't judge tofu based on some of these places y'all trying it at because it ain't what it's just not right. But tacos for life, they got it right. They got it
Okay.
right. It tastes like it's like a barbecue flavor type. I don't know. It's good.
Good.
So, as far as restaurants, I like Sweet Art. I mean, it's
Okay.
kind of that's kind of like a hit and miss. But I'm currently like finding my way with restaurants. I'm purposefully going out to find places that work. So, um, those are my go-to though for quick meals: Chipotle, sauce on the sides, and tacos for life.
Good. Love it. Because I think a lot of times, sometimes we don't have the time. And I think that's where we get tripped up is like we want to do well, but I don't have the time to make the healthier option. I just need to get something to go. But at least having a couple of those in my back pocket, you can do DoorDash or you can just do the app and come pick it up. A lot of Chipotle has the drive through and I can just pick it up and still move. So at least there's still the convenience of that fast paced lifestyle, but still can eat healthy.
And
So
let me add something in
go
right there.
ahead.
So, if you're looking for healthier options, but say you're on a journey where you are cleansing or you doing this health journey thing, but you want some French fries or something. I found that Five Guys is your best option if you're going to eat French fries. Why? Because they have figured it out. First of all, they soak their potatoes, and what that does is pull a lot of. First of all, they have some of the best French fries on the market. If you
They do.
guys do not know about Five Guys French fries, you're welcome. Go try them. But they soak them in water, which pulls the starch, which is what's bad for you in the potatoes. It pulls it
Mm,
out, and then they fry it in peanut oil. There are some better options for oils like avocado when you're gonna and coconut oil when you're gonna fry something, but peanut oil is better than like a vegetable or canola oil or something. That's a
mhm.
whole other topic as well. But when just think about the types of oils that you're introducing into your body. For fast food, Five Guys is winning
Yeah,
for that.
good. So my thing is, hey, so we got some agreements on the Five Guys. They do have really good fries. They have like the
Mhm.
big when you
They
get like
do.
your well, unfortunate for Peggy when she doesn't get her burger anymore. But when you get your burger, they put
They got a veggie
tons.
sandwich, and it is,
Oh,
listen. And they cook the veggies on the grill with the bun, so it never touches the meat grill.
so there we go.
It's a win. It's a win. I actually need
Okay.
to break up with them because I go more than I should. But anyway,
The breakup. Right. So I'm trying to figure out because I'm like, you're saying this is not just your journey. This is your family's journey. Your entire family has been on this journey for 2 years. How do you get your family on board? Because you said I even have a 10-year-old who's making pasta. How do you get your family on board of this is what we're gonna do?
so a lot of communication.
Hmm.
So I'm big on educating them. Maybe because I'm a homeschool mom, but I'm very big on teaching them why. Not just I'm telling you to do this, but why are we doing this? What is
Hmm.
the backstory? What are the facts about the correlation between your health and what you eat? So they are learning these things now. They understand, even though it's not always easy. They understand why we're doing it and why
Yeah.
it's important. Secondly, how do you do it? You let them be them.
Hmm.
So what they like, and what they don't. And so sometimes everybody plate looks a little bit different
Yeah.
because, like, okay, I have one daughter, she absolutely loves peas, but my son loves carrots. Okay, you're gonna have a bunch of carrots, you're gonna have a bunch of peas. And like sometimes I'll get just like a fruit spread, like I'll chop up a bunch of different fruits. Okay, pick what you like off of there and eat as much of it as you want to.
Hmm.
We grew up like, you better eat that food and you better eat all of it.
That's right.
But that's teaching us to overeat. That
Yeah.
is sowing into us a lifestyle of overeating. What if you're full? What if you just didn't want that much?
Hmm.
So that's what it looked like. Just kind of letting them have the freedom to pick what they like, making
Hmm.
sure that I stay stocked on the things that they do like so that they always have something to go to. So when we're out, they're not like, oh, I want the cookies that they have so bad, or
Yeah.
we keep a snack bag at all
Hmm.
times.
Very good. Because I'm thinking, you do have like my kid is a very picky eater. I remember speaking of which, I remember one year I had to call you
Mhm.
because I think Chris was like maybe 9 or 10. I forgot how old he was at the time. Maybe let's just say 10 for right now. He just got up one New Year's Eve and just was like, I'm not gonna eat meat for a year. And I'm like, well, who you gonna live with? Because
Mm.
who because who's gonna and so I had to start explaining, okay, well, I'm gonna still do it. Let me figure out, things for you. And so I remember I had to call Peggy and I was like, hey, I got this kid that wants to try to figure out and I was like, he really wanted to be on the journey, but I think his thing that he missed the most was bacon. Because I used to make bacon and eggs for him every single morning. Now, mind you, my son was not a vegan at all because he was still eating his eggs and still eating cheese, but he just wasn't eating meat. And so Peggy had to walk me through how to get vegetarian or vegan bacon for him that actually tastes good. And he still, I mean, it worked. He was able to get through the full year, but there were
Mhm.
different options of where he was able to either cook it in the stove or even cook it in the microwave. And it actually really did taste like bacon. And so it was one of the different things that just in your normal grocery store, and it really didn't even break the bank. Actually, it was cheaper than the normal bacon, to be honest. When we're talking about health and how much how expensive it was, that bacon was actually cheaper than what the pork bacon that I normally got. But it was one of those different things that there are different options that your favorite things that your kids might want, like chicken nuggets. There are different options. There were pizza. There was a lot of different variations
Mhm.
that actually was not as bad that I was able to just get at Snooks. So folks that
Mhm.
may not want to go to Deerbreaks route, it was at Snooks, guys. It was at the
Yep.
normal section that was at Snooks as well. But in other words, there's no excuses for it. But
I think every store now has that plant-based section.
morning, yeah, morning something that's called, yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Hmm. So I wanted to talk about, and I kind of want to take a little bit of a jump because I really want you to promote the social media platform that you have. And so, because I was like, from here, for folks that may enjoy this conversation, I really want them to start learning more about what you do because I really wish I could have took the time and been like, Peggy, just come on and cook while you're here. But, we would have never got through the questions. But it's one of those different things that what prompted you to say, you know what, I'm just not going to have these moments at home, with my kids. I'm actually going to talk about it on social media. I'm actually going to cook online. I'm actually going to put it on YouTube. What made you start your journey of moving and creating Eat to Live?
So I would get lots and lots of questions. People wanted to know.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and so like I noticed like I was answering these questions for people and I'm like, it's like God revealed to me like there are people that need to know this information. There are people that they just don't know where to start.
Mm-hmm.
They just don't. And I got this juicer. I was so excited about my little juicer. I couldn't wait. I'm like, I'm about to show some people how to do this. And so I also was seeing like social media was it's in today's age, it's a great way to reach a lot of people. It just is.
Right.
If you're using it for something positive. And so like I just really tapped into that. I tapped into like, okay, how do I do this and try to make it successful? And it's like it fit right in line with what I was doing health wise, right? It's the consistency of it. You have to be consistent in showing up for people and like they need it. And like once I started doing it, I was like, it was mind blowing because even today, like I see people and they're like, "Oh, I saw your video," and I'm like, "Really?" It's still
Yeah.
like, "Really?"
Mm-hmm.
Like, and I know I'm putting it out there, but it's just the amount of people that are really tapping into it. I was talking to my aunt, and they were just talking healthy eating, and it was a lady that was like in Vegas somewhere. She's like, "Oh, I follow her," and my aunt was like, "There's a lady in Vegas that follows you," and I was like, "Okay, like this
Right.
is like wow, all right." But no, people, it's a message that people needed to hear. I felt like I have a message to share with people. I have stuff to show them that you don't have to be vegan. You don't have to do it the way that I do it, but we do have to take our health more seriously by way of what we're putting in our bodies because like everything that we learned about food is a fabrication. It just is. It's
Mm-hmm.
not true. It's not factual. And I know that's how we were brought up. I know that's how we were raised. It's hard to break away from that. But like I'm here to tell people like there's a whole nother world that can just unlock real living for you.
Mm-hmm. How often do you go live when you're doing this, and what typically are the things that you normally do for Eat to Live? And I know you're looking like, now, girl, listen, I get on there when I get on there. But like consistently, I know you're saying consistently you've been on there, but if I was like, hey, I really want to start watching Eat to Live,
Mhm.
how should I tell people to go and find this information?
So I am on all platforms. Facebook is just my name, Peggy Melton Harvey, but everything else, YouTube, Instagram, TikTok, and even Lemonade are peg.thevegan. So that's PEG.THEVEGAN. So yeah, I need to just get better at going live. And I think it's just because that takes so much more time for
Yeah,
me. But I am planning to get into that. And like really my passion is I'm going to be putting out longer form content YouTube videos
yeah,
talking about important topics and really digging into it because right now mostly I'm doing shorts. So I'll get on there and show you a quick way to make a lunch or I'll show you a quick way to make some juice or a quick tip for the day. So right now that's I have a lot of those out there across all platforms, but very very soon I'll be digging into let's talk this thing out. So
mhm,
like hopefully by next week I'll have this video out and it's about how do we sit down and get our non-vegan kids to eat healthier vegan type options. And so I'm doing this with some kids that are not currently vegan. So you guys are going to see in real time like what that's like for kids to be like, I don't like that. Oh, but I do
mhm,
like this right here. So
mhm.
that's what's to come.
I love that. I love being able to have that long, the content because if you have the longer content, especially on YouTube, because I'm one of those people that this, and maybe because I'm up in age, I'm of a woman of age. the shorts is like, yes, that it gives me that, oh, I want to see more of that. But it's like if you're gonna walk me through a recipe, I struggle with the shorts because when they're like throwing these different seasons, and I'm
Yeah.
like, girl, what was
Really?
that?
What is that?
What is that? Like if you're throwing like different things that look like milk, I'm like, is that milk or is that half and half? Like I don't know. Slow it down. Like slow it down. I need and that's what I'm saying. Maybe I'm a woman of age where I'm just like, give me the YouTube where I can pause and be like, okay, now she did 2 cups of this. So I'm really looking forward to doing that with you. And I'm probably gonna have you come back next year and maybe just be like, okay, walk us through it. And it'll just be for you walking us through doing, a recipe. Because my thing
Mhm.
is, there's certain things I feel like as a people, forget as a people, stop throwing my own things on people. As me, like I want to do better. Like I love the gym and I love working out, but the nutrition is where I do tend to struggle.
Mhm.
As much as I love going to the gym, I do tend to struggle, and it's because the food tastes really good. Like I'm having a hard time, putting down certain foods. But if you can show me how to, get food that tastes really good and that is seasoned, I can find it, but I do want to make sure that we can just come through and say, if I really crave a burger, what does that look like? Or
Mhm.
if I'm really big on fish, because I am, and you already know that personally, that I'm huge on seafood. It's like I know jackfruit kind of can do that, but I don't know how to season it. So I will probably have you come back, if you don't mind, next year to really just walk us through a recipe and just say, show us how to make this, Peggy, because I think people want to do it, and a lot of times people pay for what they want, but if it's not tasting right, we gonna
Mhm.
rebel.
So
We're
I just
definitely
want
gonna
to add
rebel.
in right there, like that's a big thing. Like anything that you're doing that's different from your current eating habits, right?
Hmm.
You have to take out of your mind, like, oh, I'm gonna eat a burger. No, I'm eating something else that is trying to fulfill me like a burger.
Okay.
So they want it to be the same, and it's not the same because it's different. But that's the goal. You're supposed to be trying to get different results, right?
Hmm.
So I think that's a big roadblock for people. Like, oh, well, this don't taste like chicken. Well, no, it doesn't because it's not chicken.
Yeah.
It's a good substitute, but no, it's not chicken. And then I had a whole brain fart. I'm sorry. I'll come
That's
back
okay.
to it. Go ahead.
We'll come back through it. I'm telling you, baby, we of age. I'm telling you that I've been having it all the time. But I do want to talk about when you're talking about changing your mindset, though. Like, how were you able to change your mindset? Because, like you said, we grew up a certain way, and it's like if you're, because I'm envisioning, like, I think one of the questions I was gonna ask you was like, how does Peggy survive the cookout? Like, how do you survive the cookout?
Oh, Lord.
Because the smells are nostalgia for me. So it's like, how does someone who grew up the way that we grew up, how do you survive the cookout? Because you're saying it is different. I'm like, is Peggy bringing back a bag of veggies and being like, let me hit the grill? Because I'm like, what is she?
Ah. So it's not surviving the food because I have conquered my discipline with food, right?
Okay.
I could smell something, I could be, I'd be ready to risk it all for some fish, but I still know how
Yeah.
to conduct myself and not have it, right? It's surviving the people. I'm
Okay.
gonna say that again. It's not surviving the food, it's surviving the people that don't understand your lifestyle.
Mm-hmm.
They sometimes like they make it so uncomfortable that you're
Mm-hmm.
like, okay, like guys, it's okay that I'm vegan. It is
Yeah.
okay that I'm bringing other things. I even go so far as like, for barbecues and things, I bring my own little small grill because I cook on that.
Mm-hmm.
And it's that serious for me. Somebody asked me on Facebook, is it that serious? No, but it really, really is. So if I'm
Mm-hmm.
taking this lifestyle, it's like a person that doesn't smoke or drink.
Yeah.
No, I'm not going to compromise that to be around it because I just don't do it. So
Mm-hmm.
no, I don't want to cook my food, my veggies on a grill that has meat on it. So
Yeah.
it's more so I had to get to that point where I was strong enough to like deal with the people that were sarcastic about my lifestyle or wanted to laugh at it and all the things and teach the kids like it's okay. They just don't know. They don't understand what we're doing. So it's easier to just kind of talk about it.
Girl, why your family chiming in?
That's my mother-in-law. Hey
Yeah.
mom.
I'm like cracking up. I'm like, girl, because I know who it is. I'm like, why the family chiming in? So we don't even trip on her no more. That's what she do.
Yeah.
But it is one of those different things that, I think sometimes as a culture, we're just like, you bringing your own grills at that
Hmm.
serious, and it's like, well, you used to, yes, I used to, but do you not see the family? Do you not see the family? So it is one of those different things that you have to do what's right for you and your family and for your own health. And if people are looking a certain way about it, that's on them. That's on them. This is a lifestyle you chose to, abide by. But I did. I just had like the biggest question. I was like, how is Peggy surviving the cookout?
Hmm.
Like 4th of July, trying to hang out with the family. That would be, I would be ready to risk it all because it's hard to not go back into those old ways. And so, what would you, thinking of that, if someone is trying to get on this lifestyle and they are struggling with that, what advice would you give them, based on your own, having to do it yourself in this lifestyle? What advice would you give them to kind of trug through it?
Um, Allow yourself to be new at it.
Mhm.
Allow yourself the room to make mistakes, fall off the horse, and pick back up right where you left off. Like
Mhm.
a lot of people, whether it's fitness or eating, they figure like, "Hang I done went back. I might as well just keep on eating the way I'm eating." No, 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 no,
Right.
no. You might
Mhm.
as well just take that mess up, right? Acknowledge it and say, "I'm getting back on. I'm starting back over." I don't care if you have to start over 42 times. Keep
Yep.
starting over, keep
Mhm.
coming back, because that shows that you have the desire to do so. Um, Another thing, like I just want the world to know, like, don't wait for your body to tell you that you need to eat differently.
Come
Because
on.
like it will happen.
Mhm.
It will happen. And like that was my story, right? I got into this lifestyle because I had a fear. I had the high blood pressure, right? And so I was afraid of it. And I'm trying to combat this fear. But like worse things are happening. Um, the C word that, social media
Mhm.
doesn't like you to use.
Correct.
Just all these health ailments, your body will start to tell you. And
Mhm.
don't wait till it gets to that point. Another thing is like, I don't care. I do not care what doctors tell you. I do not care, because there is absolutely nothing that you cannot turn around and transform in your body by what you put in your body.
That's
I
right.
don't care how severe it is. Oh, it's nothing else we can do. No, it's nothing else they can do. First of all, we serve a God that gave us dominion over all of these things on the earth, and he gave us things that
Mhm.
heal our body, and we just
Mhm.
have to tap into what those things are and really want it. It's some people that they do develop these health ailments, but they are stuck and they don't know how to get unstuck. And
Mhm.
like you have to want it first. You really have to want it deep down inside, and that's why I call it eat to live. You have to want to live.
Mhm. Yeah. That's good. It's like you have to really want it, and that's the thing. I love that you brought up the fact is start a little bit today. Don't get to the point where is like you said, like you have to or else, like you shouldn't have to get to the point of, it's either this or we're at Austin Lane. Like we shouldn't be at that point. It's like we all know, everyone innately pretty much knows that there's certain things you just shouldn't eat overall. Like if you're overindulging, it has to stop. It's like really just building up that discipline to say, I am going to do better. There are going to be slip ups because there's no one perfect, but yet and still, it's like, when are we going to get to the point, or whoever's watching, it's like you have to ask yourself, when am I going to get to the point that I love myself enough that I'm going to continue to do this regardless? Like nobody has to force me to do this. Where do we get into the journey of I love me enough or I love my family enough to make sure that I'm doing something better for the long term for me and my family? Because a lot of us know, as African Americans, high blood pressure pretty much runs rampant. Diabetes pretty much run rampant. I've heard it my whole life. I can't say that I didn't hear it my whole life. Everyone who's watching can tell you at least 4 people that they know that has high blood pressure. But yet and still, we all still at the restaurants. And I'll talk about myself. I'm still doing it for the most part. But it's like we all know.
Yeah.
We all know it runs rapid, but why are we not making the selective change to combat that?
Mhm.
Why are we not doing that? And so I really am very proud that we do have a platform of someone who looks like us, because I think before it was like you, Tabitha Brown, or someone else. We felt like that was just something others did, or we really did shun away from folks that we thought they were considered weird when they
Yeah.
were saying I was plant based.
Mhm.
And so I'm really happy that you're putting out more content around someone who is a wife, a mother, who has children, who is like, no, y'all, I still got the same budget. Like, I'm not Tabitha Brown where you can say I have all this, income where I can just say, no, I'm doing a real budget. Like, I'm homeschooling, I'm an entrepreneur. I have a real life budget with inflation, and I'm still finding a way to get this products. And that's why if you have not followed Peg the Vegan, Eat to Live, or Peggy Milton Harvey, you want to make sure that you follow her on all platforms, because she really is breaking down how the average person, man, woman, boy, or girl, can live this lifestyle within their budget and make those conscious decisions, because she's showing you in real time how she's doing this for her and her family. And
Mhm.
so, with the content that you're putting out, because I know it's still fairly new, but you've been doing it for a minute. What was some of the biggest lessons you've learned since you've started building your social media platform?
Oh, some of the biggest lessons that I've learned, and I'm still learning,
Mm-hmm.
is to not take what people say to heart.
Yeah.
I don't think I went into this. I went into it a little bit naive. Oh, this is gonna be great, and like we're
Yeah.
gonna be communicating back and forth, and not really realizing there are some really hurt people in the world,
Yeah.
and those hurt people will come and say the most nasty, most just vicious things under a post that you don't even understand. I can post my kids on a video, and we're talking about like okay a juice or something, and they're
Mhm.
like just saying mean things. And it's like, at first, you know me, Tanisha.
Yeah.
You
Now.
know me personally.
Yeah. Now.
And so,
Because
like,
I was
at
like, how
first,
did you
I
do
was
that? Talking about
like,
my kid? Because who talking
because
about my
who would,
kid?
you said, now what?
Huh?
And then I had to realize, like, okay, first of all, you are doing this for the kingdom. You
Yes.
said that you wanted to do this for the kingdom. So you have
Hmm.
to look like the kingdom to
Yeah.
people that don't know the kingdom,
Right.
right? Secondly, like, it's a direct hit against you in the algorithm if you are on your post going back and forth in a negative fashion with these people. You have to
Hmm.
uphold a certain standard about yourself
Yeah.
and understand, like, I don't know why they do it. I was about to try and rationalize why people get on and say some of the things they do, but
Hmm.
I don't understand. Um, and it's just some of those lessons. It's like, this is really pushing me into like the consistency thing.
Hmm.
It's hard. It's
It
hard to
is.
have live the life that I live, where we always got moving parts. Somebody always got gymnastics, or we got
Hmm.
church and singing, or we got homeschool, we got outings, and figure out how to make content and get that content out there
Hmm.
for the world. So it's
Yeah.
like sitting in a whole another full-time job. So I mean, but it's worth it. So that's
Hmm.
why I still show up, and that's why I still keep going, even if I don't meet my mark. Y'all can guarantee I'm gonna come. I'll be there. I'll
Hmm.
be there, and I have something to share with y'all.
I love that. Yeah, because it is very hard to stay consistent. Yeah, this year I was just like, okay, we just gonna do it. Because my thought was doing When Women Believe. It's something that I love to do. Like, my thing is passion wise to see, how can I get women to work in their purpose? I know I talked to Peggy like a while back about, like, why are you not cooking online? Like, show
Mm-hmm.
people what you do. Like, we talked about this a while back. And I was like, Peggy, I really think you could do it. Because
Yep.
I know Peggy's personality. I know you're going to see like a real woman out here cooking. Like, you're going to see her children just pop in. Like, something just like this. That's what I want to
Absolutely.
see. I want to see someone who lives a life like I do, cooking. Because like when people have when they have their kitchens very clean, of course, clean kitchen, but it's like when everything is just really organized, I'd be like, that's not me. Like, it's chaotic in here. I got only one kid and it still feels very chaotic. I want to see like,
Mm-hmm.
yeah, that baby's still gonna bother her while she doing this, but she's
Yeah.
still making it happen. So yeah, this is what I can relate to. Now that baby see that she on this doggone camera. Why she asking her about this right now? But okay,
Mhm.
but it's one of those different things. It's like I think just the consistency piece does make people really stay in tune with your content, really want to see more with your content. But I do understand, like with this podcast, I had to ask everybody in advance. And so my thing was, if I ask you, like I know I asked you earlier, I was like, okay, so if I ask Peggy to do it a couple months before, then if I lock in her date, then I am feeling Peggy. Because if I say feeling me, I can go get some ice cream and take away that guilt from myself of downing me. I'm like, oh, it's gonna be okay here. But if I feel like, Peggy said yes, and then you let her down, now I can't wipe
You
that
have to do
away.
it.
And
Yeah.
yeah, so it was like I had to this whole year pick out people and was just like, okay, if I ask them and they say yes, then now I'm held accountable to them. And plus I want to see people follow them and hear people talk, hear their testimony so they can say, yes, I want to do that or I can do it. Because I think once people do hear your story and hear you say, like, it did, even though it came from, what you call trauma or what was trauma for you, of saying, like, my family, the women in my family, even myself, because you said it, I was like, most people might have missed it. It wasn't as if Peggy did not have high blood pressure. Like, Peggy talked about having high blood pressure, being on medication. And we're not talking like me and Peggy are not in our 50s, huh? What? Get into the skin. What? So, so we ain't gonna tell our age, but baby, listen, it's somewhere between 30 and 50, and baby, we
Right.
not 50. So
Somewhere in the middle.
somewhere in the middle, you just begin into this skin, okay? Y'all see Peggy. So, but it was one of the different things that you think is something that's gonna happen to you when you're older. When we grew up, that was like grandma and big mama's disease. That wasn't something that was hitting us. At least it just didn't seem that. But to go from, and that's why I wanted Peggy to be here to hear her testimony of, like, no, this, hello, I'm sorry, I know I was on this, but Sparkle, where?
Hi, Sparkle.
Where? I was like, I saw that comment and said, no, that needs to be addressed now. So Sparkle is like, where? So it's one of those different things, is that, your testimony of, like, no, guys, when she's talking about it, she made the comments of doctors saying there's nothing they can do. And you're like, no, there's something that I can do. Peggy is literally talking about herself, because I love how Peggy just was just going to breathe past this, but I can't let her do it because I know her personally. No, Peggy was told, just take this medicine. There was nothing else that she can do. And from, following these recipes and really changing her lifestyle and really
Mhm.
changing how she eats, Peggy can testify that she does not have to take medication any longer. She is no longer has high blood pressure. The doctor told her, going back, I feel like I'm doing her testimony for her.
It's okay.
The doctor told her, you're going to be on this medication. And you know how doctors are. Let's be honest. They will keep you on that medication for the rest
Forever.
of the time.
Forever. And not only did my doctors, not only did he say that, it was his tone. What he
Mhm,
said exactly was, so you've been on blood pressure med, because my cholesterol had gotten high. And
mhm,
so before going vegan. And so he was like, so you've been on blood pressure medication since your 20s, and now all of a sudden you're going to change your lifestyle and get off of medications. And I said, you know what? That is exactly what I'm going to do.
mhm,
And just like you said, it was almost like I have to hold myself accountable because I said I was going to do this and I mean it. And more importantly, I want to show him as a healthcare provider, you are there to believe in your patients. You should
mhm,
encourage them. And like you guys out there, you may have a doctor that's going to tell you, you just got to take this medicine. That's the only way. There's no other way. There is. They just don't know about it. They haven't tapped into it. It's just not the truth. It's just not the
mhm.
truth.
It's definitely not the truth. And that's what I'm saying. That's what I was like, I really wanted to bring someone I knew who can help people really eat to live, because I'm seeing your platform, I'm seeing it grow. And I'm like, I don't know if Peggy is really, and I remember you telling about your background, but I'm like, other people need to hear the real testimony of,
Mhm.
no, Peggy is not just saying, oh, it's a trendy thing. No, this was something that was going on in her household, going on in her family. Like, this is a generational thing that was going on with Peggy. And even like she said, in her 20s, you're hearing the doctor say, well, like, oh, just giving up. And it's like, no,
And just
no.
to add to that furthermore, like the women I talked about in my family that passed, none of them made it to 60.
Hmm.
That, that's too young. Why are we leaving? Why are we making it normal to leave here
Hmm.
at that age? Like
Yeah.
absolutely not. I promise y'all, I want to be the 82-year-old where they be
Hello.
like, she how old? That's
Hello.
what I'm striving for. I want to be running around here. They see me running around my block like, okay, give me some of that kale. That
Yeah.
shit. Where is it? What? Give it to me.
Right. Girl, if you don't give me that apple, let me go buy a juicer because ain't no way. Ain't no way. And I do and I think that's why, because Peggy is also a gym rat just like me, so it's like, we're gonna be in that gym. It's because it's one of those different things that my aspiration is to be that older lady that's just
Yes.
like, what? Like, I don't want, my goal is to hopefully perfectly not be on a walker or a cane. And to those that are in it, that's no shade to anyone, but my goal is, I feel like if I just keep moving and I don't stop at the gym, then, generally my chances are high or positive. And so
Yep.
those are the different things. And so that's why I was like, well, let me bring Peggy on, because the thought of it is that I know, even though I work out a lot, you cannot outwork a bad diet. And so it's like,
That's good. That say that again for the people
you
in the back of the video.
so y'all in the back, you cannot outwork a bad diet. And I didn't get that. I got that from um Wasted by Rakita. So Rakita Edwards, who is a fitness trainer.
Hey girl.
We love you, girl.
She
Like,
tried to take us out before, but it's all good.
look, I'm like this, baby. I had that flashback of being like, do she not hear me screaming? From working me out, do she not hear me screaming? But Rakita is, if you go to Rakita Edwards' page, to plug her in for a second, she's 60 years old. And I can tell her age. She's 60 years old and she looks, hello, she
Listen,
looks
I'm
amazing.
striving. Okay, I'm striving to get there.
We striving. And so it's like, it's one of those different things that, but she taught about, you cannot outwork a bad diet. And so it's like, I need to, even though I have the gym piece, how do I get to where Peggy is, where I can just say, okay, now I have the nutrition piece. I have to get the vegan cheese you told me about, Peggy, because I was just like, I remember calling her being like, so I'm trying to do this. My body has told me I can no longer do dairy. I
Mm,
figured out the meat and the creamer, but this cheese though, and that is where I still struggle, because my body be like, no, with the milk
it's
as I've
just
gotten
something that
older.
you got to come to realization. There's not really. It's just one of those things you might just have to let go because the options are not
Yeah.
strong
Yeah.
in that
Yeah.
section. But I mean, it's a process.
We're
That's
gonna
it.
get there. I'm gonna do some trial and error, and we're gonna come back and I'll be like, I found something. So as we're kind of wrapping up towards the end, because we've been talking for almost an hour, which does not
No,
seem
it's a
like
good
it.
conversation.
So what are you hoping for the future? Like, what does Peg the Vegan hope the future looks like? Whether it's in life, social media, what are you hoping for in the future?
Um, of course, it is my hope that that my reach widens. You
Hmm.
know, it's people everywhere. It's people with
Hmm.
money. It's people without money. They need to hear how to make a lifestyle change.
Hmm.
Um, it looks like even me getting better at my journey, right? Because
Hmm.
like I mess up. I don't eat meat, but I mess up in my own space. Me being more
Hmm.
active. So it just looks like that, like being getting a lot more content out there.
Hmm.
Being able to do some coaching,
I love
to
it.
where I'm at a place in life where I can pour into other people what they need to get further along. It's
Hmm.
kind of hard right now because everything is so busy for me, but I believe God is going to open up some doors and move some things around where I have the time, space, and capacity to do that, pour into others.
Perfect. So if from the conversation we've had today, what is one thing you would really hope a listener will walk away from hearing the conversation?
Um, and I think I interjected those early, and I apologize for that. But it was
No, do
the
it.
um, do it now. Don't wait.
Mhm.
Don't wait until you're sick. That's a big piece. Always research for yourself. Look up some things. Look into some things. Like we have all this AI and technology just don't have to be it making you look like somebody that you're not. There is information out here at the click of your finger, and
Yep.
there's absolutely no reason why we're not going out to find it. Um, we have to take the excuses out of why we won't make lifestyle changes.
Well,
Oh, I can't do this. I don't have the time. You do have the time. We all have the time. It's about like changing what you're putting in that time.
mm-hmm.
So that's it.
I love
Amongst the
it.
other things that I shared. So
I love that. No, but that's good. It's good to say stop making excuses. You don't want to wait till you're sick. Because like you said earlier, you was like, we're complaining about how much it costs to go to Deerbergs. You don't want to get that hospital bill because it's going to be way more than what that Deerbergs bill is going to be per week.
and then you hear the people that's like, oh, my back is hurting all the time.
Yes, you
And your
do.
knees is hurt. Well, let's start doing something else. Like what we're doing
Mhm.
isn't working. Let us just try something else, if for no other reason, because you don't want to wake up and feel that back pain. You
Right.
don't want to wake up and, you got migraines every day. You know
No.
what I mean? Just whatever it is. So I'm not like calling out any one person, just whatever that thing is for you. You have to decide. I want to try something different. Like I said, it don't have to be vegan. I'm not
Mm-hmm.
telling people to be vegan. I'm telling you guys to change something that you're doing and do some swap out for some healthier options.
Good. And if somebody saw this message today, saw the live, saw the rewatch, and they're just like, you know what, I need to get to this lady. Maybe she can ask some questions for me. Maybe she can coach and walk me through. Maybe I'm standing in the Chipotle and I'm like, girl, now what you say I need to get? So, how can somebody best reach you, whether it's social media or wherever? How can they reach Peg the Vegan?
And I think they can see it right here.
Mm-hmm.
PEG.THEVEGAN across all platforms. I encourage everybody that's seeing this, when you see a video that you like, share it. Share
Mm-hmm.
it, like it, comment on it, because like I'm trying to get this information out to more people, and it's really hard to build that from the bottom.
Yeah.
But I need you guys' support as well. So share something that you like, or tell somebody about it. Um, and I'm very personable. As much as I can, I like to answer questions.
Mm-hmm.
Um, so feel free to message me. Like I do not discourage personal messages. I do not encourage inappropriateness, but like, because in the words of my good friend, you will be blocked.
Huh? Be ye blessed and blocked, huh? Amen. Whew.
But no, feel free to reach out, ask questions, get advice. Um, Look back at the older videos. I may have covered something that might be useful to you.
Mhm.
Um, so yeah, but PEG.THEVEGAN across all platforms.
Absolutely. And so, like, to wrap everything up, thank you so much, Peggy. Thank you for everyone that is
Thank
watching.
you for having me.
Of course. We're gonna have you next year, so be ready.
Okay, I'm
So,
ready.
with Peggy, again, follow her on all social medias places. That's Facebook, Instagram, YouTube. For that long-term content is coming. So I think me saying is gonna force her to do it. So go ahead and follow her. Eat to Live, Peg the Vegan. You can go ahead and follow it on YouTube right now. Right now. So as soon as this is over, go ahead and follow her on YouTube, because we're going to get that long-term content. We're going to be able to see how we can make these healthier choices. We're going to watch the content. And so we're going to be able to ask questions, but you can reach out to her. But once again, thank you guys so much for joining When Women Believe, and we'll see you next time.
Thank you.
Take care.
Bye.
Bye.